everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Turnovers will be an even bigger focus in today's game as both teams come in ranked in the top 10 in turnover differential. It's the Browns going up against the Packers. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL, there's a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Green Bay Packers. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge. And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones up to the
He's got his target. It's Coleman for a Browns touchdown. Corey Coleman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. And he's able to put it through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
You have to love Jamie Collins. You can use him just about anywhere on the defense. Inside linebacker, outside linebacker, defensive end. He might even play a little bit of safety if you give him the chance.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this. But run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And he can't quite bring it in. Might have heard footsteps there across the middle. 2nd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Rodgers again now. He gets it over the middle of Cobb. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now third down. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Crosby puts it through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They have to make it.
And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Corey Coleman, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On the carry, it's Davis. A good burst there, gets him 7 up to midfield.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get.
Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time.
It's caught at the 10. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it. Now, that was well defended. And as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
He'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Steps away to his left. And his throw is incomplete. And trying to give a lift to this offense today will be the Duke, the former Cane, Duke Johnson.
Comes from a great tradition of runners at Miami of Florida. He's one of the best ones we've seen in recent years.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. He's got his target. It's Coleman for a Browns touchdown. Corey Coleman doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Browns add on to their lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now trotting out there the Packers getting ready to go. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I was
going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about?
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Christian Kirksey leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Rodgers now to throw. Caught on the right side, Reed. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And the Browns offense back out there ready to take over. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in the touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is incomplete. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The intended target was Corey Coleman. And it's 2nd down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. That is caught. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this. Or keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate. Oh, yeah, good surge defensively. Sometimes you can just tell by the way a quarterback lines his feet up behind center. He's going to try and sneak it in. And they catch him here and stop him for no gain.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Shift together here from the D-line. They come out here in the eye. Offense looks to punch it in here from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They tried to get the nose of the football across to no avail, and now it's 3rd and goal.
When I was playing, all our defensive coaches talked about when you're near your own goal line and you're trying to stop them from getting in, your heart gets tested. What a nice play on the last down.
A lot of heart on 2nd. Do they have the heart on 3rd? And he'll barrel his way into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Duke Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Pass interference call. Charles, you were a defender. You know how hard it is to defend the pass without committing this penalty.
And if they would let them play with a little bit more contact to give the defender a better chance, we wouldn't have nearly as many flags.
Here's Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. They get 25 yards out of that one. And that leads to a Green Bay first. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off. It's the Pro Bowl corner, Joe Hayden with it. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the...
That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for Cleveland. 61 yards.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown...
He's got a man, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 44-yard line. These coaches told us they wanted to take the top off this defense. They wanted to be able to stretch them downfield. They showed it pretty well there.
And they knew that if they were able to do that, it would open up everything else. But how did they truly get it done? Practice in the previous week, making sure they had a plan, fine-tuned before they put it into effect in the game.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It goes as a pickup of 23. And the Browns are going to have a 1st and goal. And now a first down following that long gain. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll drop to throw. He's got time in the pocket. That's caught at the 1. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed.
And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Duke Johnson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Browns continue to roll. And his kick is right through. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll come out in the pistol. Now it's Rodgers. Dancing to his left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On first down, Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And now here is another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll get 19 yards there, and it'll give the Packers a first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly.
And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before half for Rodgers. His throw incomplete. So, well, that came a little abruptly here. also working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm.
And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Corey Coleman, 75 yards. And the Browns are pouring it on. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And they're not able to convert on fourth down. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook,
and that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Corey Coleman, 34 yards. And the Browns continue to roll. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Well, an incomplete pass certainly doesn't look like a good play. For the guy throwing it today, as many interceptions he's thrown, he's got to feel a sigh of relief that the ball actually hit the ground and didn't go in the other direction.
Rodgers will try again on second down. Finding time. Trying to lay one up deep. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. He's going to try. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Over the middle, the catch by Coleman. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. Red zone opportunity. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up first and goal. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll drop the throw. That's complete right around the 8. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Corey Coleman from 6 yards away. And the Browns are pouring it on. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I'm here, my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They're going to hurry back to the line now.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field. And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first. They try the corner route there, Charles, and it works to perfection.
Boy, that's hard on a defensive back because if you get any fake or move to the inside, you have to respect it, and then the receiver breaks back to the sideline.
Out to the left here to Reed. It'll go as a gain of 12, and it'll be a Green Bay first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. And quickly they get to the line. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Rodgers to throw. But it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. And now here's another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got his target. It's Coleman for a Browns touchdown. Corey Coleman, 51 yards. And the Browns continue to roll. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field, certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot, great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was and he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. James Starks his second touchdown on the season. And his guys are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the Browns getting set to go. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. Back now at Lambeau. So 1 yard to go here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Screenplay, Johnson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you hand it to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
On 2nd down, Johnson. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. 7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll set up to throw. And he comes back with one complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Play clock winding down. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
The Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And they're going to go soft on the corners. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Robbie Anderson, 78 yards. And the Browns are pouring it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? No. I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Out to the left here to Reed. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. So they're back at the 7 now for 3rd and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves.